What's going on YouTube? Pistol Pete here. Today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about the Camillus inflame. So the reason why they call this inflame is because it has a ferrule rod striker and a little whistle on it. Kind of gimmicky, but hell, if it works, then yeah, you know, it might save your life if you're stuck somewhere out in the woods. This is about between 22 and 25 bucks. You could find this at most places. It says here up to 10 times harder than untreated steel. Well, you know, I would hope so. Most knives should be heat treated, but that's kind of funny. It's 440C stainless steel, folding knife, 3.25-inch blade. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. Boom. Okay, so it is a nice looking knife. You know, it does have rubber. This is just standard rubber handles. It feels just tacky, like a tacky rubber. Not too bad. It has a nice strong lock up here on the liner lock. It is a liner lock. Really fat, generous pocket clip. In my opinion, it's a little too big for this knife. This knife isn't that huge to have a big ass pocket clip like that, but you know, it works. Can't complain too much. 3 little screws right there, hex screws holding it in. So I guess you can remove it if you wanted to. It is like a black coated knife here, which I'm not that big of a fan of, but you know, it's not that bad. The rubber is kind of soft on this, so I don't know how long that would last. And I can tell you right now, I pulled this out because this right here, this little jimping here is actually what the ferrule rod sits in. So it's kind of cool. Let me show you here. And then also it has jimping back here. Kind of interesting. It has a lanyard hole right here. So let's get to this. Let me show you this thing here. So the rubber, well, I was saying the rubber isn't too strong is because, let me show you. I already pulled it out once, and just with my nail pulling it out, trying to grab it to make the pull, I already kind of, you can see if it picks it up, but I already ripped the rubber right there. So the rubber isn't too damn strong. With my nail, you know, trying to pull it out, scrape it with my nail and pull the rubber off. So hopefully we'll see how that goes, because we're going to do hard use tests with this. We're going to find out how this little knife holds up and see how the edge holds up on this thing. So this is the little ferrule rod striker, so I can show you that right here for the back part. And we're going to test that out too outside in a minute here. And then your little whistle in case you get lost or you get hurt in the woods. It's pretty high pitched and pretty loud actually. Works pretty good. Not too bad. A little hard plastic whistle there. So let's put that back in here for now. It just pushes right in and just like friction holds. No clip. There's no like audible click or anything like that. It just pushes in, holds in with friction. Not too bad, not too bad. Like I said, we'll see how it is for 25 bucks. I'm not too sure. Right there, 440 for 440. Let's see if it picks it up for 440 stainless steel. It does have ambidextrous thumb studs. They're both the same size either side, so you can't use this left hand or right hand as far as that goes. The exact same length, which is nice because you know a lot of people complain about that. You have to unscrew it and turn it around if you want to put it on the left hand side. So let's see how this heat treat is and how this knife holds up. Let's go test this thing. Real quick, before we go out, I forgot to do a sharpness test. Show you guys this before, so we could check the sharpness of this blade before and after. Fairly sharp, fairly sharp. Yeah, it's, let's see, so it's paper cutting sharp for sure. Let's see about hair popping sharp. Yeah, it's removing hair. Let's see where I pick that up. Plus a lot of dead, dry skin, but there is hair in there. So it is hair popping sharp. So it is fairly sharp. So I don't have any bottles right now, plastic bottles, but I do have this aluminum can. So let's give it a chop and see how clean it looks here. Right in half. Look at that. Right in half. Pretty sharp. Let's test the balance on this. I'll throw it down at the log here. Well, first I'll do some drop tests, about 4 foot up, drop it down, see how it lands, and then we'll do some hard downward throws, see if the liner lock gives or if anything comes loose on the blade. Right now, the blade is tight. I mean, there's no wiggle, no nothing. I mean, it's a solid lockup on this thing, so that was pretty impressive for a $20 knife. So let's check it out. 4 foot up. Whoop, that was me. I flicked it with my finger at the end. There you go. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's a little bit uneven, but no, I mean, it's a little bit. It wants to lean a little bit to one side. You see that? So when it falls, it's kind of doing that. So it's landing kind of like that. It's not going straight down. All right, let's do some hard downward throws. Ooh, man, that's stuck in deep. Yeah. Oh, see, I'm missing. And those missing, when you miss, that's when you test the knife too. I mean, because usually stuff gives when you miss and hits sideways and stuff, but still solid lockup. Let's try it again here. Man, there we go. That's a solid hit. Bam. That's a solid hit. Liner lock still good. No wiggle in there. Nice and solid. All right. Let's see how she whittles here. Try to do some feather sticking. Yeah, not bad. This is old dried hardwood, so it's falling, but as you can see, it's doing it. And that jimping's not too bad. It's not too aggressive. It's kind of a little bit soft right there, so it's not too bad. You hold it there. But, oh yeah. Can it feather stick? I would say so. Okay, let's do a little bit of light batoning and see. Now, realistically, you're not going to baton with a little folding knife, little cheap folding knife, but if that's all you had and you're stuck in the woods and you need to make kindling, can you do it? Let's see. That's why I test it. That's why I test it for you guys, right? So let's scoot this back a little bit here. Right there. Yeah, it can do it. Okay, let's do it again here. Like it was nothing. All right, let's test that mechanism here, the liner lock. Solid, no wiggle at all, up and down, left and right. Solid, staying pretty solid. Let's see if I have to process some of these branches, palm trees here. A lot of times I like to get these little side bristles here out of the way to fit into the green barrel here. So let's just see how it removes some of these and if it's any issues. Like butter. Pretty sharp little knife. Yeah. No problems at all. Here's another scenario you'd probably never have to do with a cheap little folder, but for testing, we're gonna do it anyways. It's chopping. We're gonna chop with this little folder. I mean, little knives like this, realistically, you're not gonna chop with. They're not designed for chopping. They're not meant for chopping, but we're testing the strength. We're gonna see if the liner lock gives, if anything comes loose on it. So we're just testing the knife with it, right guys? So go easy on me in the comments, because I know I get that a lot. Folders aren't meant for chopping. I get it. But we're testing it, all right guys? We're testing it. Get my fingers out of the way. I'm gonna hold it like that just in case it does close, because this isn't a triad lock or some high-end lock. This is a $25 liner lock knife. So yeah, if you had to chop, it's doing it. It would take you forever. I mean, the smart way to do it, right, would be to baton, hold the knife and then baton through a stick that you wanted to chop through. But again, we're just having fun here. Testing out the edge. Testing out the fit and finish. See if anything comes loose or if it stays put together. So yeah, I mean, it's chopping through it. Let's see here. Turn this around. Do it this way. Watch your nose, kid. Watch your nose. I mean, it's doing it. I'm not gonna bust it all the way through because it's a pretty thick log, but you can see there, it's going in. Let's see if there's any warping or any damage to the edge. Nothing that I can see. Nothing that I can see on this. It's no bowing, no warping, no chipping on the edge. It's holding up pretty nicely. Have my dog's old chew toy here. We got him a new one, so I don't think he'll mind if I cut this one up. It's all full of dirt and grime and just trashed. Let's see here. In twain, as my boy Scab would say. Look at that. Easy. Okay, last thing we're gonna do is throw this at the log here. And then after that, we'll do a little bit of prying. So throwing and then some little bit of light prying because it is a finer tip. And we'll close it out with that. Let's do it. Ooh. Let's try that again. Boom. Let's take a look at that. Oh yeah. Let's try it again. Get you guys in frame. All right. Oh. And again, these misses are what really show how strong the knife is. This isn't a throwing knife. This is a pocket knife. And it's holding up very, very well. Very well. Do it again here. Oh, man. Definitely not a balanced knife. Definitely. But I can make it stick. All right, let's do a little bit of light prying and see if this tip breaks. If I can get you in frame. See, I'm sticking it hard enough to make it stand on its own, so you can see there. And it's pulling up wood, so. All right, let's check that tip. Still straight as an arrow. You guys are seeing that. No bending at all. All right, we're here for the selling point of this knife, right? So this name of the knife is called Inflame, so because it has a ferro rod striker and it does have this notching here for where you're supposed to put it into. So this black coating, I don't know how that's gonna work, but let's see if it throws some sparks. Oh yeah. Actually fairly well. You guys seen that? Yeah, so it definitely does throw sparks. That does work. Man, all right. I was surprised, but yeah, it works. Okay, I could honestly say I'm impressed with this little knife. So, man, it held up very, very well. It didn't warp. Even the coating lasted, is still on there pretty good. You got a little bit of dust here I think I can take off, a little bit of a wood marking in it, but it didn't smear all up, so it definitely has a strong coating on there. The ferro rod striker, as you can see, worked pretty damn well. You know, for 25 bucks, I could recommend this one, man. It's strong ass knife. You know, the only thing that concerns me is going to be the coating, this rubber coating texturing on the grip, because it is pretty soft. But other than that, it's a fairly cool little knife. You know, fairly strong. Nothing, no wiggle after doing that, after throwing it, after throwing at the log, chopping with it, batoning with it. Nothing came loose. No side wiggle, no up and down wiggle. The liner lock works freaking perfect, just like when I opened it. It's absolutely perfect. The edge, let's check out the edge tension. Oops. Let's see. Still cutting the paper. That's because the paper's wrinkled there, but I mean, it's still paper cutting sharp. I mean, let's see about hair. I don't know if it's hair popping still. Yeah, not as good as when we first started, but yeah, it's still cutting hair. It's still shaving hair. Wow, surprising, you know. So they're right. It's hardened 10 times than other the blades. So yeah, I mean it's a heavy duty knife. I was surprised about this for the price. Held up very, very well. Like I said, my only concern would be that soft rubber handling, but it gives a really good texture. But again, something like this, you're not going to be using that, you know what I'm saying, unless you're a construction guy. And even that, I would still kind of recommend it. But mainly, if you're just using this as everyday carry, this isn't going to last you a lifetime, man. Still stayed sharp after all that stuff. And the metal is definitely not soft because I was batoning, throwing it, missed it a few times, hit the log sideways. And, you know, things still tank, you know, still a freaking tank. I would highly recommend this one for the price. If you find this one out there, not bad. Not bad for a little budget folder. All right, guys, please like, subscribe, share, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.